Hello, welcome to this non-video, this non-lecture, development log is what I'm going to call them, because I'm going to show you all of the steps of me setting up and going through a full project and taking it seriously. In this case, the project that I will be using for some of the lecture videos I'll be recording. But I don't want to hide anything from you. You know, on cooking shows where it's like, here are all the steps and here's how you make it. And then they turn around and they pull out from the oven and here's one we prepared before recording. And it's like perfect. And you're like, well, how did you missed a step. Draw the rest of the owl. Like, how did we get there? So I'm going to show you just all of the struggles. These videos might be like way longer than they really should be because I'm gonna like hit bugs or like make simple mistakes, and you'll get to see that because this is more of the development log, not a lecture, not as much of a plan involved. I mean, I know what I'm gonna make, but so maybe don't watch it. Maybe your time could be better spent just making something in Unity. There's a reason that these aren't usually in the lectures. Because it's not an efficient educational resource here, but it could be helpful just to see the process. I think a lot of students get a little mystified because I tend to just like gloss over it. Then you put it all together. But anyway, here we are, waving our hands, actually putting it all together. First, let me tell you what it is I'm gonna make. Over to my whiteboard. What I plan on making is a game, a top-down, a game kind of like the game Hades. Hades is it's a top-down. It's not a shooter game. So from above, your character can't move in any direction with the left stick, and they can rotate with the right stick. So it's kind of twin stick shooter controls. So you have full movement from top down, and you have maybe a sword that hits in front of you, and you have to like aim at things. Maybe you have a machine gun. Maybe you have a I don't know. Well, one of the points of the project, and when we get to architecture, is how to like structure it in a way that we can swap weapons without having to rewrite all of our code, by separating weapons logic. And I don't actually know what the game's going to be, if it's going to be more of a twin stick shooter top-down game or more of a Hades like combat-y. I'd like to do more melee stuff. But anyway, for the levels, I was thinking pretty simple. You have Binding of Isaac kind of deal. Fixed camera. You enter. There's some number of levels, enemies, obstacles you have to defeat, and then you exit, and it makes the next one, and it maybe kind of randomly generates them. I don't want to like design every single level bespoke. I'd kind of like it to be procedural. Anyway, so that's the idea of the example project. Really, I just need I need something to work off of to show you a bunch of different parts of Unity. Like scene loading and randomization and enemy AI is like a whole complicated thing. It's quite difficult, but it'll be fun. So let's move to OBS and change this to here. And we have a completely empty Unity scene. Oh, what a starting place. What a starting place. Look at that. 4 minutes into the video. I haven't done any work yet. No, I have a plan. I've written it down. I actually haven't written it down. Step one would be to write it down. It would be I'm just gonna get started. I know what I'm trying to make here. So this is a new 2D template. And let's make a circle. That's our player. And tag them player. Oh my God, look at this. It's already coming along. Okay. Let's make some walls. I want to try something new with Sprite Shapes, but we'll start with good old-fashioned squares. Oh yeah, really complicated stuff. So great, whatever. Make a new empty walls 0, 0, 0. All right. Player needs to be able to move. Well, we need a circle collider. And I'm going to use rigid body 2D. I think I'm going to use rigid bodies. I need at least one to, have collision events happen on walls and stuff so I can like walk over traps and things like that. No gravity. This is a top-down game. I might make it kinematic. I might do movement myself. I don't know yet. Player agent movement. I might have my AI use this movement code. Call that agent movement. Creating a script like that is going to put it just in the root folder of my directory. So let's make scripts, put it in there. And we'll make another folder for agents. Agents being players, enemies, anything that can like move around on the thing. All right, and I want my scripts folder not to provide namespace, but I want my agent folder to provide namespace, and then I can fix the namespace, and the writer can automatically use folder structures to create namespaces. Pretty neat. Private rigid body. Awake. Body goes. Blah, 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 blah. This code we've probably seen before. We are just making. I'm just getting the rigid body. Would move. We'll take a direction. What direction do I want to move in? Private. My cat's in my way. Movement direction. Let's just set that equal to that for now. And then in fixed update, which is where we put physics code, we'll say move position. Should we do velocity calculations ourselves? Calculating the appropriate linear velocity required to move the rigid body to that position during the next physics update. Neither gravity nor drag will affect the body. This causes the depth to move. They will produce collisions and triggers. Yeah, that feels okay. Delta. Let's take a vector 2 or vector 3. Vector 2. Interesting. Delta. How much should we move this frame? We should move our movement direction times our velocity times time dot fixed delta time. And velocity is that. Return dot position plus delta. What's this example code? RB2D dot position is just. Can you really just get that cast to a vector 2? Huh. Why would the rigid body need a position? Because that's just stored in the transform as a vector 3. Here it's being stored in the rigid body as a vector 2. Right? I'm assuming that's the same. Okay, let's make a new interface. Not an interface, I'm gonna do a new folder. Call it input. Add new Unity script for input. Require component, type of agent movement. Now this script cannot exist without the other one. Right up there. Update. Vector 2 direction equals new vector 2, and we'll go with our input dot get axis horizontal, input dot get axis vertical from the input system, and we'll make a vector 2. It's just those two together. Normalize it, and then move in that direction. The error is because this isn't public. Right. And nothing works. I'm getting emails. All right, that's getting passed through. Velocity 0. Velocity is 0. Of course it's 0. Why wouldn't it be 0? And I want get axis raw. Unity applies smoothing data to the input. So if you push right on the key, it will simulate a joystick like taking time to move to the right. But I want this really to be snappy, quick movement. So we will use just the raw input, where if I push right on the arrow key, it's right. All right, so basically the nice. I moved the object in fixed update, and I used the rigid body move position function instead of doing something like transform dot position equals transform dot position plus velocity times time dot delta time. You know, instead of doing that, just so that everything's in. You know, the physics system works the way the physics system does. We use the physics system to do the movement, and it will do its collision calculations. So it won't be buggy. It won't be like jittery. If you're like pushing into a wall and it says, oh no, go back, push into a wall. Oh no, go back. It's just like, okay, I won't push into the wall. Because it's going to do that at the time of movement. So I'm still directly choosing how much to move the player, but I'm letting the physics system handle all the hard stuff, collisions and so on. Okay. Next, I need some kind of aiming. It's kind of aiming thing. So we're going to need a child object on the player. I'm actually going to make an empty player. Actually, no, I'll use this one. I'll make empty player base visuals and empty player. We'll do that. And we'll add a new square sprite to that. And it's going to look like a yield sign. I just need some kind of directionality. Okay. That can be on the root object. Sometimes you put colliders as children, so you can have different colliders and be like, this is for colliding with walls. This is for enemy bullets. And like that collider is smaller. We can do that later. We just want to rotate this. Rotate this child object. Because rotation and movement should be independent. Maybe move to the mouse direction. Do I want to use them? I kind of want this to be like a two joysticks. Aim with the second one. But I'll be splitting up WASD and arrow keys for keyboard. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Mouse feels better. I don't know how I want the player to move. I thought I knew. It was like, yeah, twin stick shooter, but I'm like, ooh, do I really want to like plug in a joystick and test with that every time? Do I really want to rewrite the keyboard code? Face rotate. Rotation angle. We need an angle to rotate it. We need the angle of the in degrees. 90. So if it's 0, I'm facing right. Would that be the default? So that'd be the angle between the world right unit and the facing unit, but I need that to be signed. I need to know if it's left or right. Horizontal. I guess I need to. I guess I need to mess with the input system. I don't want to mess with the input system. I like my example code working with the clean examples. How about we will cache a reference to the camera. Let's use name. Whatever. And vector to facing direction should be equal to world to screen to world. Take our mouse position and we'll get it in world units. Mouse position. We'll cast it to a vector 2, and that will drop the Z axis. The Z position in this function would be the camera Z position, which isn't what we want, but we don't need it anyway. Now we just need the difference between we just need this. So we need and that's a vector 2 minus a vector 2. Normalize it. Probably is in the right direction. I might have that subtraction backwards. Agent rotate 2. All right, with the movement and rotation doesn't matter. Right, it is backwards. It's facing in the opposite direction. Switch it around. I don't know what this is looking like. I'm just trying to like make it not symmetrical. I have no design in mind. What? All right. That's it. We're done. You know, at least done with some of it. I want to learn something new that I've never used before in Unity. And this might be a good time to do it. Do I need a package? I want to learn Sprite Shapes to make the levels. I mean, the levels are probably just going to be boxes. Probably means if it's convex or not. Stay open. Ooh. How do I edit you? Edit spline. Yeah, it's just a Bezier curve. Or some kind of spline. Position you here and do here. And here. And yeah. Maybe it should be a closed shape. Maybe I did it wrong. How do I add a Sprite Shape Collider? Enabling collision. Only edge and polygon collider 2D components can be used as sprite shapes. Oh, it's giving me the outside. It gave me the outside edge as a collision shape, not the inside edge. Kind of thought that would happen. It's perfect. Collisions you slow down when you're pushing against the edge, which makes sense. Kind of don't want you to. Yeah. All right. Did I delete the walls or did I just disable them? Why would I disable them? Why would I delete them? Why wouldn't I make life easy on myself? All right. At least to go out to 0.5, isn't it? I'm about to leave play mode after making a bunch of changes. I can copy the component, leave play mode, paste the values I just changed. Probably fun. All right. Well, that's all for now. I didn't learn much about Sprite Shapes. But I mean, yeah, the last 10 minutes of that was nothing. Welcome to game development. 30 minutes seems like a good place to stop. We got player movement. They're moving around. Next step is to make it go pew pew pew. That's a technical term. All right. Nice. I need more coffee.